What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and right here in my hand I have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. A lot of you have been wanting to find out if this is a good tablet to buy. It's a pricey one. It starts out at $850. So I'm going to let you know if this tablet is any good, how it compares to the Tab S7. So let's just dive in and let you know if this tablet is worth buying. So the Tab S7 Plus is right here, and it's got a very nice aluminum frame, and I love that they made it a square design so that you could put a tempered glass screen protector on it, and I did so successfully. And you can see on the front they do have bezels. Look, that is okay. Tablets, you need to hold them, so it's okay to have a little bit of bezel. That's perfectly fine. And they have dual speakers on the sides, and they have a USB-C port here as well. But you're going to notice that, yes, they have a power button up and down on the volume there, SD card slot here, but they do not have a headphone jack in the tablet. And I know some people won't like that. So the design, it is a very premium design. And the one area that, well, this tablet's a little different than the Tab S7 is screen size. So this has a 12.4 inch screen. The Tab S7 only has an 11-inch screen, and this has an AMOLED display, while the Tab S7 just has an LCD display. So there's a little bit of a difference there, and I'd say that's the main difference. When you're looking between the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus, the main difference is going to be the display. Because the battery on this has a 10,000 milliamp battery, and that battery will get you through the day. It actually lasts very long. In fact, the biggest battery that I've really seen on an Android tablet has been about 7,000 milliamps. So to go up to 10,000 is a big jump. But this is powering a big screen, a big, beautiful AMOLED display. So battery life is actually very similar to the Tab S7. Now the Tab S7 Plus and the Tab S7, they both have a 120 Hertz refresh rate. And that is the biggest, most glorious upgrade that has happened to Android tablets in years. That makes the S Pen more usable, it makes the screen look better, and you have a 2800 by 1752 resolution on this display. So I can't say enough about how good this display is. The Tab S7 Plus, in my opinion, has the best display out of any tablet, hands down, even better than the iPad Pro, better than the regular Tab S7 or the Tab S6. This is a phenomenal screen, and it's very large, which is a very big deal. We haven't seen a big Android tablet like this for a while, so a lot of you are going to be very happy about that. You're also going to notice there's an in-screen fingerprint reader right here. So this is another difference between the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus. This has an in-screen fingerprint reader, while the regular Tab S7 has a normal fingerprint reader, and it's actually on the power button. So some of you may prefer that in the Tab S7. Some of you will prefer the in-screen fingerprint reader here. Now this has the Snapdragon 865 Plus for the processor, and it has 6 gigabytes of RAM in the base model. So what you need to know about all that. Bottom line, this has 128 gigs of storage. It has plenty of storage. It has the top of the line processor. So if you're worried, is this going to be good for productivity? Is this going to be good for entertainment? You need to know, this tablet is very fast. It is very good for productivity, at least as far as power is concerned. And the display is so good. It is amazing. It is beautiful. I can't say enough. It is one of the best tablets ever for a display, and it feels pretty light. This is barely heavier. I believe it's like 1.3 pounds. It's just barely heavier than the Tab S7. So you're really going to enjoy this tablet as a whole if you want to use it for Netflix, if you want to use it for YouTube, because this can play 1440p on YouTube. It can play 60 frames per second in HDR. So there's a lot to like about this tablet as far as the display goes. As far as performance goes, it's top of the line. So you're getting top of the line display, top of the line performance, and you're also getting that 120 Hertz refresh rate, and that makes the S Pen work extremely well. So the S Pen, it does attach here on the back. It charges there. You could also pop it on the top as well. You could do different things with PowerPoints. If you wanted to use your S Pen to advance PowerPoint slides, you could do that too, because it is Bluetooth connected. And the latency is so small. This is for the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus in my testing. If you go to Samsung Notes or you go to specific apps, you go to Clip Studio, you're gonna find little to no latency in the S Pen. So things are just so smooth. So in my opinion, this tablet is really one of the best, if not the best, for drawing. It's the best tablet out there as far as the display, as far as entertainment goes, and it's got a phenomenally fast processor, really one of the best that Android has to offer, at least at this point. So that means you could game very well, you could have speedy gaming, you could game on very high settings, and you could have 20 tabs open, and even on 6 gigs of RAM, I think you will do just fine. This also has Samsung DeX, and that basically brings all these Android apps into a laptop-like environment. And in that environment, you can actually pop up different apps in different windows, and that just helps a lot with productivity, because that's why you get a laptop in the first place. You want to take something on the go, you want to get productive work done. Maybe you're working on a budget and you need to bring up the calculator, you need to bring up the budget, and you need to bring up all this other stuff. Maybe you want your music player on your screen as well. So that is great for this tablet because you're able to do that. And I admit Samsung DeX is an imperfect thing, but it's still pretty cool that you have that ability. The speakers on this tablet are also very, very loud. You've got 4 speakers, and they're also a tad louder than the regular Tab S7. So you're gonna get a phenomenal experience all around with this tablet. So the only real cons that you're gonna see, I mean, you're not gonna see like a water resistant tablet, it's not there yet, and you're not gonna see a headphone jack. The only real notable flaw in this tablet is, well, number 1, the price. And number 2, Android apps are not well optimized for tablets. And other apps will not work in landscape mode at all. Now there is a way to force apps into landscape mode if they won't work, and it's actually a Galaxy Store app. You actually download it, and it's called different things in different countries, so if you're not in the US, you might have to look something else up. But it's actually called Good Lock. If you search that on the Galaxy App Store, you download it. And also, when you open the Good Lock app, you will notice it says Multistar. You're going to want to download that app as well. And when you do, you could click on Multistar, and after you go into that menu, you click I love Galaxy Tablet. It'll actually give you the option to rotate with our best. That means it can actually force your apps into landscape mode when you do turn your tablet that way. So that's a good workaround, but you have to remember that even though that's a workaround, it's just stretching out the app to work in landscape mode, and a lot of apps already stretch out that way. They're basically big phone apps, and that's a bad thing about Android tablets. So there's no question whether it's the S Pen, whether it's the display, whether it's performance, there is no doubt that this is the best Android tablet that has ever existed. You have every feature you would want. I don't see any big flaw. This has good battery life. This has good performance. It has a good display. This has pretty much everything you would want in a tablet. And the only big flaw that I see is simply the fact that it runs Android, and Android, even though it's a great operating system, it doesn't work quite as well on tablets. But Samsung has agreed to give 3 years of software updates to this tablet, which is a big boost for Android users, and Android has a lot of customization options, which I prefer over iOS. So when the rubber meets the road, a lot of you want to know if you should buy this, and a lot of you want to know if it's worth buying, and some of you might wonder if you should get the Tab S7 instead. And here's where I get honest about this tablet. The Tab S7 has almost everything that I said about this tablet. It has good battery life. The Tab S7 has great performance. It has Samsung DeX. It has all these cool features that this tablet has. There's not a big difference. The only real difference between the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus is price and also the display size and type. So you could save $200 by going with the regular Tab S7. It's lighter. It has a fingerprint sensor, which I prefer on the power button. And on top of being lighter and having that, it's just plain cheaper, which is a really big deal. And it does have an LCD display, and you might be worried about that. You might be worried about the quality. I put these two tablets side by side, and I've got to be honest, I did not notice a huge significant difference. I've heard some people online say they noticed a very large difference, and a few people might, especially if you put them side by side. But I put them side by side, and the only real noticeable difference I saw was that because there's so much room on this tablet, because it's so big, the apps are spaced out, and the wording is a little bit smaller, so in that way it could look a little bit better. But when I compared the two side by side, I did not notice a huge quality difference. And that's just my personal take on the matter. I don't think the difference is that big of a deal. And from my testing, I would take the Tab S7 display over the Tab S6 display. Even though the Tab S6 is AMOLED, I personally like the Tab S7 display better. I think the colors look fine. Both the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus get very, very bright. So I just don't think this is worth the extra $200 for a lot of users. This is by far the best Android tablet out. I just don't think it's the best value out. And that's not saying a bad thing. I think Samsung released a terrific value with the regular Tab S7. So if you could live with the screen being 1.4 inches smaller, and trust me, that is a large size difference and you are going to notice that. And if you could live with the display being slightly worse, then take the $200 and buy the Tab S7. That is a bargain. But if you want the best of the best, you want a great device, and maybe you prefer the in-screen fingerprint reader, you want a AMOLED display, and you might want a slightly better resolution, well, buy the Tab S7 Plus then, because this is the best Android tablet out. And if you want that screen size, that is very important. If you need a large tablet, just buy the Tab S7 Plus. You will not regret it. It is a phenomenal tablet, and it does everything you need it to do. But one thing you need to remember, if you want the better value, the Tab S7 is a good way to go. But between the two of those devices, if you're wanting something purely for productivity, keep in mind that this is a tablet first. So even if you get the keyboard cover, it will not replace a laptop in some ways. You won't be able to run some Windows programs and stuff like that. So this is mainly for the person who wants something for entertainment first, and you want to get some light productivity work done. Stuff you could do on the internet, stuff you could do on Google Chrome, on Google Docs. And if you need some productivity, well, you can get that here through some Android apps or through the web. But when you're paying this much money, you just need to make sure you know what you want. If you want an entertainment beast, a machine, something that is absolutely amazing to use on a daily basis, this is definitely it. It definitely does the job, and this is a phenomenal tablet. Hopefully this helps you to make a good and wise decision on what tablet to buy. This is a phenomenal tablet. I did not get the keyboard cover in the mail, but you need to know you could watch my Tab S7 keyboard video. You're going to find that this is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to have a whole function row. There's not too much different between this keyboard cover and the Tab S7 one outside of size. So feel free to watch that video if you'd like. Feel free to watch my Tab S7 review if you're curious about it. And one big way to support me is by liking this video and subscribing to my page. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subs. Please give me a like and subscribe. Help me to make my way there. And you can follow me on Twitter as well at DigestAndroid. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day and stay safe.